inside right there, deep inside on that left arm, and just squeezed and finished Tung Lee Ge in a very nice finish for Dae Hwang Kim.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this Chinese man fight again, though.
To present the prize to the winner, we have Mr. Colin Chong, CEO of AMNIG. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joey Lepitan calls a halt to this battle at 4:08 of round number 2. For your winner, by submission, via rear naked choke, Dae Hwang Kim!
Round number 1. This world title fight is brought to you by 19A.
Kairat Akhmetov coming out of the southpaw stance here. Judging the distance, you can see that long range by Adriano Moreas.
Akhmetov, the challenger, the Kazakh in the white trunks. Moreas, the champion, the Brazilian, in the black and white trunks. Slapping kick from Moreas. Heavy on the back foot is Akhmetov.
Adriano's the one trying to circle around the ring, understand the attack of Akhmetov. What's he really trying to do? How is he trying to set up the takedown? If it's coming, or is he going to choose to keep this fight on the feet?
Moreas just missing with that step-in right hand. Head kick. Akhmetov says, I appreciate that. Come back for more.
It slid off the hand, and that did connect to the top of the head of Akhmetov. He has worked so hard at improving his striking.
Another low kick from the champion Moreas. Akhmetov trying to defend that head kick. 2 have been thrown his way. Early stages of this fight. 3:10 remaining, round number 1. Kick caught, nearly to the ground. Moreas pulling out. Bounce in this step of Adriano Moreas.
Nice and light on his feet. You can see Akhmetov kind of standing flat-footed.
He's much heavier as the Kazakh.
As Adriano's moving around, circling left and right, changing stances now to match the southpaw stance of Akhmetov.
You'll note the back foot of Akhmetov. Will stand very heavy on that back foot. Trying to load up his rear power in that southpaw stance.
Yeah, definitely you can see that long range. He's got about 7 centimeters in reach and height on Akhmetov, so he can pick him apart with a jab, and really it's hard for Akhmetov to get in close and to strike as long as he keeps that jab active and moving.
Chant in favor of Kairat Akhmetov.
The Kazakhstan fans are out in full force right now, Sean.
He has virtually 100% support of the crowd here in Beijing, China, to the inside Akhmetov.
And that shows you how strong Akhmetov is. He stopped the takedown and immediately spun him around to the cage.
Moreas smartly circling out. Moreas does not seem to be rattled by the pro-Akhmetov crowd. Spinning back kick, nothing there but sending a message.
Possibly some of that capoeira you said we might not see, Sean. He's throwing it. If we see some handstands, then we'll talk.
No hand plant on the spinning back kick, at least not yet. 60 seconds remaining, round 1. Scheduled for 5, this world title bout. Moreas very focused. Tuning out the crowd, understands his mission at hand. Snap kick, almost like a savate kick with the toes extended into the chest of Akhmetov. Swing and a miss. Good duck under from Moreas. He's looking very quick.
You can see Moreas trying the unconventional leg attacks.
30
There he
seconds
is with a
left in the
jumping
first round.
knee. He's
Nope.
spinning, he's attacking the head, he's attacking the legs with the kicks. Definitely give Akhmetov a lot of different leg attacks to look at.
Akhmetov throwing a three-punch combination, nothing landing. Kick to the body, that landed. Final seconds, round one. There is the bell.
Tough first round there, you know, a lot of feeling out process going. These fighters know it's a 5-round fight that we have in the championship tilt. So this is tough. They're trying to gauge their energy, they're trying to conserve, they're trying to feel each other out, finding exactly what the other opponent is offering to them. At this stage, you see the aggression, you're seeing Akhmetov constantly pushing forward, you know, controlling the center of the cage, but Adriano is throwing the attacks, he's throwing the leg attack, he's trying to mix things up, going to the head, going to the body, and also throwing some punches as well.
For you, who's winning the fight after 5 minutes?
Man, that's a tough call, Sean. You know, we've got a lot of different things to look at, but right now, the striking superiority I would have to give
Seconds out.
to
Seconds
Adriano
out,
Moreas
please.
because
Seconds out.
while Akhmetov is controlling the center of the cage, Adriano Moreas is landing the different leg attacks.
I agree with your assessment. Heading into round number 2. You see the champion, Adriano Moreas.
Round 2.
That's what is at stake. One championship's flyweight world title. 2 submission specialists, all stand up thus far. Kick just under the chin. Akhmetov trying to open up his attack, missing with that head kick. That looked almost capoeira-esque on the turn. Now the level change. Big sprawl from Akhmetov.
See, we know how talented Adriano Moreas is on the ground. We know he's such a magician when it comes to the submissions. But with a wrestler the caliber of Akhmetov, does he have the takedown ability to drag this fight to the ground and get into his territory?
A lot of lateral movement from Moreas. Extending out the left hand. See, Akhmetov has his left hand loaded in the southpaw stance. Kick caught. Moreas feinting on the level change. Up and down movement from the champion. Side kick.
Adriano seems to be bothered by his nose. He's constantly brushing his face, and it looks like something might be bothering him there.
Again, you see Moreas pawing at his nose.
That's never a good sign. If something's broken, you got to be so careful not to make any sort of initial reactions to possibly blow the nose or to clear it, because that could swell up beyond belief. It's definitely giving him some kind of problem. If Akhmetov can start to put the pressure on and initiate the attacks, there's so much respect given, though.
2:55 remaining, round number 2. Kairat Akhmetov trying to improve his pro MMA record to 23-0 and take the flyweight world title of one championship from the belt holder, Adriano Moreas. Again, the crowd vocalizing their support for Kairat Akhmetov. Head kick over the top, waist cinch. Trying to put the Greco in play, but then Akhmetov eats a knee, still hits the takedown. Open guard for Moreas.
That's a big score right there as he dragged Adriano Moreas to the ground. Now we get to see that brilliant jiu-jitsu game of Adriano Moreas.
Olivier Coste telling Moreas, get your toes out of the cage. You can put the toes and the fingers through, you can't actually grasp. That's what Moreas did there. Well recognized by Kost.
And a lot of times it's instinctual. You're not trying to cheat, you're not trying to gain an advantage. You're just trying, it's a human reaction just to kind of get your balance a little bit.
Getting the warning from Kost for Moreas. Moreas, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, comfortable on his back, working out of open guard. You see trying to sit up. Akhmetov trying to clear the legs.
This is the position that's won Akhmetov so many contests, is he gets in the top position, controls his opponents, and imposes his will.
Akhmetov stepping in with the knee. Big takedown. Getting below the hips. There's where you really see the Greco-Roman background from Akhmetov.
And you can also see the frustration on Moreas' face. It's like, again, getting sucked back into the ground.
The tight clinch, the upper body locks from Kairat Akhmetov. So effective in Greco-Roman wrestling, so effective in MMA.
Sean, you can see that he's kind of holding the arms to try to prevent any sort of ground and pound.
Difficult position for Adriano Moreas. Right leg is controlled. Akhmetov trying to land the right hand. Now a left to the body and another. There's a left to the head. Akhmetov trying to work the side control. Still in that open half guard, that open guard.
You can see now Adriano is trying to attempt. He's got that one leg hooked. He's trying to slide into the back. He pops that leg out.
Moreas nearly out the back door, and he is.
Beautiful transition by Adriano Moreas to secure the top position to end the round.
10 minutes up, 10 minutes down. We fight on here in Beijing. Kazakhstani supporters of Kairat Akhmetov.
After 2 rounds, we can see here is Akhmetov running in, trying to get that takedown, picking up Adriano, driving him to the ground. And that was kind of the story of this round. You know, the first round we had Adriano Moreas landing the kicks, you know, controlling the stand-up game. But that round, we could clearly see Akhmetov, you know, utilizing his ground and pound and his control on that top game to really secure that round. So it's really close at this point, but if we're judging that as a whole, as we do in the global rule set, man, we might have to give a slight advantage to Akhmetov.
Seconds out. Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
Seconds out cold. Very technical, very tactical between these two outstanding fighters.
Man, Sean, I love fights like this. We've got 2 high-level competitors, Greco-Roman wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, contesting in a battle of wills here for the ONE Flyweight World Championship.
Round number 3. We can go a maximum of 5 rounds, a maximum of 25 minutes.
You can see Akhmetov still standing flat-footed, nice body kick. But Akhmetov spins him down to the ground.
Kick caught, but you see how active Adriano Moreas is with his legs.
Immediately threatens with a submission again. Here we go, he's setting up something.
Big push off and right back to his feet. Started to work out of half butterfly to Moreas. Saw the advantage to push off and explode up. Now the low kick from the Brazilian champion. Hands much lower now for Kairat Akhmetov here in round 3. Still it's the Kazakh coming forward.
You can see Adriano kind of twitch that leg, threatening the body kicks again.
Kick to the body, Akhmetov acknowledges that. Akhmetov has the habit when he's caught with this strike, he really shows it on his face and with his body language.
Yep, you got me. It's okay. I'm not hurt, but that kind of gives the judges the impression that it did, because when you acknowledge it, something bothers you.
Step in knee, now looking for the guillotine. Tough to get from this position. Akhmetov powering back up to his feet. That was nicely defended, nicely done. Outstanding crowd. Akhmetov can hear his home country supporters here in China. Moreas simply does not seem bothered, certainly not flustered.
You know, when you're in there in the cage, Sean, just the whole world just kind of gets like curtains drop over the cage. You can hear a rumble, you can hear a roar, but you're completely zoned in and trying to find that magical moment where nothing else matters except you and your opponent.
Call for action from Olivier Coste. Moreas on his bicycle, you see the lateral movement, big kick to the body. Akhmetov suddenly in stalking mode.
But everything's coming a little bit slower, Sean. He's moving forward, he's pushing the pace, but I just think that's Adriano's style. Is more of the backpedaler, counter puncher, counter kicker.
Nothing on that head kick. Bouncing the step of Moreas, reset center of the one championship cage. Again, Coste trying to spur on the fighters, and it worked. Akhmetov hitting the takedown into half butterfly guard for Moreas.
This is where we've seen Akhmetov be a little bit more effective, you know, utilizing the takedown, controlling the position, because Adriano Moreas is winning the stand-up game. He's landing more kicks, he's moving better, he just has the advantage there. This is where Akhmetov is advancing and showing superiority.
Close guard now for Moreas. Under the knee, now looking to attack. Beautifully done on the bottom from Moreas. Hooked under the knee, now attacking that right arm of Akhmetov.
See, I like how his hips are following Adrian's hips. As Adrian's kind of sliding away to set up a possible submission, Akhmetov is just following hip to hip to really negate any possible submission attempt that Adrian Moreas might have.
Back to close guard for Moreas. Akhmetov trying to walk that fine line, wants to be aggressive with ground and pound, but doesn't want to raise up and get caught in a triangle or in an armbar. Moreas again, very active with his bottom game, very active with his guard. Opening it, back to close guard, low close guard now, below the waistline, below the hips.
But as he attempts that arm bar and as he kind of reaches under the leg, Akhmetov just sprawls out, flattening Moreas down, and then just follows the hips around.
Moreas doing a nice job lacing through on the legs. Now the hammer fist from the bottom from Adriano Moreas. Akhmetov being very cautious, and again, he was emphatic, his respect for the ground game, the submission game of the champion.
He has that respect, but he's continually trying to take Moreas down, so I don't think he's scared of it. There might be some respect there because you can see he's done his homework, he's studied the offensive attack of Adrian Moreas as we end the third round.
3 rounds in the books, we are headed to the championship round.
Here was that attempt at an armbar and then Moreas pushing away. And here we can see him from the attempted guillotine that he uses. He just kind of holds up and gets stood right back up. Akhmetov trying to release the punches that came in. Here's that big overhand right that led to the takedown of Moreas. And that was where the last part of that round just kind of maintained Akhmetov on top and Moreas fighting from the bottom.
It's very tight, it's very close to a scorecard.
Man, that's such a tough call. I would hate to be a judge in this contest right now, but we've got to look at the effective ground control of Akhmetov versus the striking attack of Adriano. At this point in time, you got to give it a slight edge, very slight edge to the champion.
You just saw the indication from our one championship round card girl, LQ, that we have now officially moved to deep water. That's what's at stake. The gold, the strap, the championship belt. Round number 4.
Now we're entering the championship rounds. This is when exhaustion starts to take over your heart and determination comes into play. How bad do they want it? And each of these fighters, they look so much bigger than their flyweight limit. These guys are big, so the weight cut has got to be taken into consideration as well. Who had the better rehydration strategy? Who had better weight cutting techniques?
Undefeated Kairat Akhmetov in his one championship debut enters at 22-0, facing the Brazilian champion, 13-1, looking for his second successful defense of this, the one championship flyweight title, Adriano Moreas. Moreas coming forward, shuffling back and forth, trying to stay light on his feet, spinning back low kick. That landed on the front of the thigh.
See, this is where we're seeing a new and improved Moreas. He's moving well, he's light on his feet, he's setting up these big kicks with his hands. Nice defense there on the takedown.
We saw that in round 3, almost on cue. Olivier Coast calls for action. Akhmetov tries to oblige with the takedown. He hit it in round 3, couldn't hit it there.
I do believe that's where he's seen most of his success. That's what's advancing him in the scorecards. But we're seeing a different striker come out of Moreas. Now he's the one pushing forward and controlling the center of the cage.
Good left hand. Akhmetov landed that flush. Moreas walking through it, coming forward once more. You can see Moreas slowly trying to turn up the volume here.
Well, that's when a champion emerges. In these 4th and 5th rounds, the champion's heart comes into play. He's been there so many times. He knows what it takes to put this fight away.
Left hand didn't get through. Moreas resets, comes forward, now into the clinch. Moreas looking for the takedown, then pulls out. 2:35 remaining round 4. Not much between these two outstanding fighters, at least not yet. Very tight, very even. Feint with the big left hand from Akhmetov.
Akhmetov switching back to the orthodox stance here. Into southpaw as he throws a big head kick and misses.
Body kick lands. Counter body kick from Moreas didn't get through. That body kick did.
Man, those are gonna take a little bit of steam out of your engine, landing those body kicks late in the 4th round here.
Getting the Kazakh crowd showing their support loudly for Kairat Akhmetov. Jump in knee, nothing on that from Moreas. Twice he's thrown that in round 4, twice he's unable to land that.
The takedown attempts are tenacious, just consistently trying to push forward to the takedown. Shoots it on the leg, slides up to the upper body. Very advanced takedown game shown by Akhmetov. Here he's got the body clinch, a wide base stance by Adriano Moreas. As he starts to defend, pick the hand off.
1 minute left in the 4th round.
And Olivier Coast trying to turn up the output from these two fighters. Akhmetov looking for the inside trip. Waist cinch now from Moreas. Akhmetov being overly aggressive, trying to hit that trip. Giving his back standing to Moreas. 35 seconds remaining round 4. Goes slapping away the right hand of Akhmetov, fingers in the cage. Akhmetov gauging if he can throw the left back elbow. Dragged down from the waist cinch by Adriano Moreas.
Adriano takes the back here. Akhmetov rolling out of it. Very well done here.
Final seconds. Moreas will try to establish his top game. Bringing the knee into the midsection. 4 rounds up, 4 rounds down, and moving to the deepest of deep water. So close, Mitch. How do you have it?
Yeah, in the 4th round here, we have seen back and forth action. You can see the stand-up game is a little, just the more diversity is coming from Moreas. You can see him setting up the punches, kind of reaching out, but then landing these big kicks. Now he's starting to control the distance and he's starting to move forward in advancing position. But Akhmetov clearly has dominated the ground game. You know, Adriano is trying to attempt positions. He's trying to, you know, threaten the submissions, but Adriano is smothering these submission attempts. At this point, the fight is so close. Ground control, Akhmetov. Striking superiority,
Seconds out.
Moreas.
Seconds
It's
out,
so
please.
close.
Seconds out.
My opinion, however, does not matter. It only matters what these three gentlemen around the cage are going to say of this contest.
Tonight's One Championship live broadcast from Beijing, China is available in over 70 countries and to over 1 billion people worldwide. Very glad that you've joined us. Dynasty of Champions. This is the first of 2 world title fights. With Mitch Chilson, I'm Sean Wheelock.
Final round.
To the 5th and final round we go. Undefeated Kairat Akhmetov versus the champion Adriano Moreas. At stake, One Championship's flyweight world title.
Goes upstairs again with the big head kick.
Then to the body kick, kick caught, driven through in the takedown.
Adriano has no fear of his kicks being caught. He continually threatens with the body attacks, the head kicks, landing brutal shots to the body. When you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, you have absolutely no fear of being taken down. But the smothering style of Akhmetov is just covering him and not letting him use this brilliant ground game that he's known for.
Akhmetov has shown the ability to take down Moreas in this fight. What he has not shown, though, is the ability to really do much when he has that top position on the ground.
Yeah, he's taking him down and he's holding him there. He's burying his head in his chest because he's so, I don't want to say he's afraid, but he's definitely timid to pop his head up and possibly leave something open. You know, you don't want to pop your head up and leave your arms fumbling inside a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt's guard.
Akhmetov looks to be cautiously respectful. Moreas so active on the bottom, throwing up the legs. There's always the threat of the triangle, always the threat of the omoplata, finding the armbar, finding something from the bottom for the world champion and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Adriano Moreas. Big swing and a miss by Akhmetov. Awkwardly missing with that left hand. Switch of stances from Moreas. Takedown attempt. Akhmetov couldn't find it on the single leg.
Now again, Akhmetov is starting to push forward, control the cage, control the movement. Adriano is still light on his feet. He still looks like it's the first round. He's moving really well. His hands are up. Good gas tank demonstrated by Moreas.
See the shuffle step, the low kick from Moreas. Feint on the kick. Moreas pulled it back. 2:25 remaining in this fight. Just one question to be answered, and it is looming large. Who will emerge with the gold? The challenger Kairat Akhmetov or the champion Adriano Moreas? It is so tight in this fight.
Takedown by Akhmetov. He's sliding under the punches, beautiful takedowns. These are textbook MMA takedowns. Avoid the punches, slide in for your double leg, and secure position. Beautiful transition by Moreas.
For the briefest of moments, Moreas had full mount, Akhmetov then turning out of it, but gorgeous transition indeed from Adriano Moreas.
Nice sweep to establish that position. Let's see what Moreas can do now from the top position. He's got 90 seconds to work here. Let's see if we can see another one of these stellar submissions.
Both fighters can see the finish line.
You never want to let it go to the hands of the judges. You never want to give them the authority of your future. You've got to try to finish at all opportunities. Here he's past the guard. Now he's in side control.
Will one or both try to really turn up the tempo now?
Left in the 5th
25th and final minute of this fight. Moreas back in the half guard of Akhmetov. Misses with the right hand. Push away from Akhmetov. Looking for the up kick now. Moreas being very cautious. Trying to clear the legs, can't do it. Ate an up kick, then landed the right hand.
30 seconds left in the fifth and final round.
Just saw the short heel strike to the kidney, and again, from the open guard. Akhmetov just trying to get Moreas to move from that. Moreas moves, but then throws the right hand to the body. Closing stages of this world title fight.
Moreas is definitely more active in the top position, delivering a lot more ground and pound than Akhmetov had.
Elevated with the legs, the bell, and the end of the fight.
What a tremendous contest for the flyweight world title. We've got both fighters being carried around the ring, both corners very positive that their fighter has done enough to take home the gold.
See the two of the numerous flags from Kazakhstan displayed here in Beijing.
Both fighters carried around the ring. An amazing display of support. You can see here that was that beautiful sweep that ended Moreas in the top position. Akhmetov tried to kick away, but that was really, an interesting back and forth game. We've got the striking, the leg kicks. We've got the constant pressure used by Akhmetov. But then in the ground game, you've got that smothering style of Akhmetov where he was able to take Adriano almost down at will and control the position. He buried his head in his chest, so he wasn't doing a lot of damage. But it really could go either way at this point.
For you, who leaves with the gold? Who leaves with this championship?
Sean, it is such a difficult call, but I have got to give the nod to the champion, Moreas. I think he did enough. I think he was effective in all categories.
Let's now end all suspense.
5届北京体育发展有限公司总裁魏永华先生 ，One Champion CBU CEO Dr. Gui。这场比赛最终的结果非一致性判定。Blue corner.
Southpaw stance on Akhmetov.
Akhmetov has been talking all week about how he wants to strike with the Wushu champion. He wants to stand there and test these Muay Thai skills that he's been developing out there in Phuket against one of the very best in the world.
How Eustaquio would love to take the win back to the Philippines. And a big hello to all of our Filipino viewers watching on ABS, CBN, SNA.
Akhmetov throwing out that front side push kick. That's usually Eustaquio's weapon.
Outside present kick. How about that from Kairat, Akhmetov? The acrobatics in the early get-go. Eustaquio still filling out the Kazakh. Just talking to Akhmetov yesterday, Mitch, you get the feeling he is just on. He is focused. He is beyond ready.
Yeah, he really is confident about this contest. He knows that this is his opportunity to really get back into the hunt for the title.
There's the takedown off the high kick from Eustaquio. Akhmetov predicted a rear naked choke win. Eustaquio predicted a knockout by a straight punch or a submission, also by rear naked.
The open guard from Akhmetov is now trying to adjust. He's trying to find that perfect position. Looks like he's going for the sweep.
Going. Outside leg kick. Eustaquio came agonizingly close. But you see Akhmetov so far moving well. Hard the balls of his feet. Went for another of those outside crescent kicks. Eustaquio told us yesterday his speed, his angles will be too much for Akhmetov on the feet. Especially the speed difference. He believes Akhmetov is slow, and that will be the Kazakh's demise here tonight. underhooks from Akhmetov, the Greco-Roman wrestling champion. This is what Greco-Roman wrestlers do, Mitch, from this position.
Yeah, Eustachio seems a bit hesitant. He's not quite letting things go the way that he normally does. And this is where Akhmetov wants to be. He wants to be pressuring Eustachio up against the cage, and that's been a problem for Eustachio in the past. He allows these grapplers to press him up against the cage and dictate where the contest takes place.
Eustachio gets turned against the cage, gets his back off the fence now. Akhmetov puts him back there. A real jousting contest, a lot of physical struggle between the two. Still here in the first round, 2 minutes 5 remaining. Still the turn of tides, each taking their place against the fence. The knees there from Eustachio.
It looks like that inside crescent kick was the shot that did the damage, and that's got to score in that category, which we'll hear from Rich Franklin if this contest goes that far into the break. Now Akhmetov on top, delivering a little bit of ground and pound. Eustachio's trying to fight that wrist, trying to push it down, maybe threatening a possible triangle.
Eustachio said that if the chance arose, he'd try to get Akhmetov in his back, but it's the Greco-Roman wrestler who has the Filipino on his back. Okay, calling time here, Yuji Shimada. Is he saying no up kick to the face?
I believe he is, but actually if that's the case, then Yuji is confused, because a grounded opponent can up kick a standing opponent, and Akhmetov was on his feet, so that is a perfectly legal technique.
That's what I would have thought, and we have quite a situation now. You see Yuji Shimada conferring with Olivier Coast. Let's take a look again here. Rich, talk us through this.
Akhmetov has Jehei down, and he's throwing the up kicks right here, but you can see that Akhmetov doesn't have anything touching the ground except for his feet. They just actually awarded an injury timeout. I'm confused.
A bit of confusion is definitely going on right now. It looked like Eustachio was landing perfectly legal up kicks, and the last one seemed to rock
It looks
Akhmetov.
like under the left eye, the orbital there of Akhmetov. Now, Yuji Shimada is calling both men to the center of the cage. Looks like he'll recommence them, and he does. So some confusion, but we're back underway. Still here in the first round. It's been a ripper so far. Two men on the hunt for championship gold. You figure a win here tonight may propel one of them to a showdown with the champion, Adriano Moreas. No doubt watching live on Band Sports in Brazil right now, the champ Moreas.
In the first round.
Double jab. Threads it, but to no avail for Eustachio. Drills the right hand to the breadbasket.
Eustachio's got to take advantage of this opportunity. Akhmetov still might be a little bit rocky. He seems to agree getting his wits about it. Now Akhmetov starting to push forward.
Akhmetov swinging wildly with the left hand. Eustachio turns to the inside. Oh, takedown! Takedown from the Kazakh. What a beauty! He's inside the guard of Eustachio. Now, it's Kairat Akhmetov, top position, and he's got some mighty ground and pound. Can he posture up here, Mitch?
He's getting a little bit, he's trying to be a little more active off his back. He's trying to throw up that possible triangle, but the pressure of Akhmetov is really coming down. Those are some of those up kicks that caused controversy in the first place, but now Akhmetov's got the belly to back. He takes Eustachio to the floor.
Roll through there from Eustachio, ends the first round. A controversial first round, plenty of action. Mitch Chilson, we've got a great contest on our hands.
Yes, we do. Very interesting. There's that lead leg inside crescent kick that connected on Eustachio. Beautiful takedown, caught the top kick, brought him to the canvas. Here's the up kick. Boom. First one landed, second one landed. That one rocked Akhmetov, and I don't see where the controversy lies. Those were two perfectly legal up kicks that did damage. If Eustachio was able to get back up, it could be over with, but I'm not certain. I'm not a judge. I'm not a referee. I just pretend to be one every once in a while.
Rich Franklin, your thoughts after that first round?
Let me tell you, this was a difficult round for me to judge because Yuji made the mistake there by stopping the match, thinking that it was a foul, when in fact that Jehei could have actually capitalized on that. So I've scored him in the damage category for those particular kicks. I also have Akhmetov scored in the damage category as well. But as far as the way that the match is being controlled, I believe that Akhmetov here is controlling the pace. A bit more striking superiority, earn the takedowns, and a little bit of control on the ground. So at this point in time, I have him ahead on the scorecards.
Second round set for 3 of our main event. It's one championship total victory in Jakarta, Indonesia, the biggest martial arts stage in the world.
But only the very best in the world can erase what's previously happened and continue to move forward in the contest. That's who we're going to see really excel to that world championship level.
You see Akhmetov here at the start of the second, trying to confound Eustachio, trying to get inside his head with some of that unorthodox movement, especially the movement of the hands. He circles off counterclockwise, does the little Kazakh. Comes forward now, a couple of skips. There's a shot to the midsection off the right hand from Eustachio. Kazakh goes inside the guard. Foot on hips from Eustachio. In the ground. And puts him inside a closed guard.
I'd like to see Eustachio set up that kick with a little bit of hands first, just to show him, Akhmetov, something different. Give him something else to look at before landing that big shot, because the kicks are working, but he's got to set him up before he lets go. Now, this is where Akhmetov wants to be.
You see Akhmetov is trying to get to half guard and pass to the left side of the Filipino's body. But Eustachio cleverly keeps him inside his closed guard.
This is where Akhmetov excels. This top position, this ground and pound. His strength is so intense. Look at him just smothering the head of Eustachio, landing a little bit of punching just to soften him up just a bit. Now Eustachio breaks away.
Eustachio isn't going to go back to those up kicks. Inside the guard goes the Kazakh once more. Careful, popping left, try for a right elbow, did Akhmetov. He is quick with that ground and pound, and he chooses his openings, Mitch.
Yeah, he does. He's very smart about when he expends energy, but he's got to keep moving. This is not a 5-round contest. This is 3 rounds, and we're almost halfway through the second round. And according to Rich Franklin, he does have a slight lead, but at any moment, Eustachio could pull ahead.
What are you telling Eustachio to do here, Mitch?
I like what he's doing by opening up his guard, trying to create movement, trying to create scrambles. But instead of holding the head, start to push away. Start to create a little bit of space. Don't let Akhmetov smother you like this.
Still the closed guard here from Jehei Eustachio. And Yuji Shimada decides to stand there. So whom will this favor? Let's see if Eustachio can get off some of those wushu strikes. Multiple wushu champion, one of the very best in that martial art. It's translated well to the one championship cage thus far in Eustachio's career. Akhmetov. Lots will beware of that right hand when he comes in on Eustachio.
Leading with that right hand, he's setting up a lot of shots with that straight right. He must see an opening there.
Eustachio edging forward. Hoping to throw the roundhouse kicks. It was Akhmetov who drew the short straw. Beautiful back up, double leg. Single leg down, hitting the takedown. Reaches Eustachio to the canvas. 1 foot on hips. Now the open guard from Jehei Eustachio.
That slide under double leg takedown is a thing of beauty. That's what Akhmetov is known for, how he avoids the punches, but that constant threat of the takedown is always there. So it has to make the striker, Eustachio, a little bit hesitant to let these hands go.
1 minute 10 remaining. Our main event of one championship total victory here in Jakarta. Eustachio wisely locking down the right arm. Doesn't want Akhmetov to posture up and work the ground and pound.
Holding too much.
You see Akhmetov slammed him down, trying to release that grip on his arm, trying to open up the guard of Eustachio.
Eustachio's trying to utilize the butterfly hooks there, so he's trying to go for a sweep. He's trapping the correct side on that arm with the overhook, but that top pressure is just so intense from Akhmetov.
March up.
35 seconds now on the clock here in the second round.
30 seconds left in the second round.
Eustachio holding down the left arm now of Akhmetov. Akhmetov trying to posture up, to land some elbows, land some hammer fists perhaps. He throws an elbow, tried to curl it to the orbital and missed the target.
Stand. Stand.
Right hand back to his feet now. Up kick coming from Eustaquio. Little sling of the legs there from Kairat Akhmetov. And this is how the round will end. One more to go and a thrilling main event.
Interesting second round, a lot of back and forth action, but once Akhmetov was able to get on top, that's where this happened, the takedown, and that pretty much was the story of this round. Akhmetov on top, landing the ground and pound, controlling the position, and Jai just not able to get off the way that he wants to. Rich, how did you have that second round?
You actually called it right there. You saw it in the replay. The takedown was the story of the round, and that's really Akhmetov is able to control this match here. I think that he's got Jai off his game plan, coming out throwing those high hook kicks early, something that Jai wasn't expecting, and I think he can do that because his wrestling is so good that he really doesn't have to worry about Jai taking him down. So he's able to control the pace of this fight. He's not doing a whole lot with ground control, a little bit of ground and pound, some damage scored, nothing really significant. This is a pretty close fight, but I have Akhmetov ahead on the scorecards.
You think Akhmetov is just playing it safe at this point?
I don't think so. Jai's a worthy opponent. Even though Akhmetov is the wrestler and we think of him as the grappler, Jai is a well-rounded competitor here, and not easy to pass his guard, not easy to advance and actually do the damage you need to do. This is why you have two tough competitors. These guys are jockeying for the #1 position here.
Third and final round. Spinning heel kick there from Akhmetov. Beautiful somersault roll through. More like a cartwheel, really. Acrobatic nonetheless from Kairat Akhmetov.
Akhmetov does have a background in capoeira, and he was hoping to showcase some of that tonight, and he's doing just that.
Akhmetov circles off clockwise. Now goes counterclockwise. He drifts off to his right. He's avoiding the right hand of Jai Eustaquio. We haven't really seen Jai load up with that right hand. Akhmetov was setting himself for an outside crescent kick, thought twice about it. Drifts off to his right, away from Jai's power side. And Yuji Shimada wants to see more engagement. Akhmetov southpaw, flicks a kick to the waistline. Very side-on stance here from Akhmetov.
Just barely missing there with that right hand. Again, Eustaquio's trying to push forward. He's trying to create something, but this awkward movement of Akhmetov is kind of disrupting his ability to let go.
Beautiful cutting kick to the midsection there from Akhmetov. Timed it to perfection.
Jai trying to keep him in guard. A great job by Eustaquio to prevent Akhmetov from passing the guard. That left knee is just saving him right there. He's able to spin back up. Now he's giving up his neck.
Akhmetov's going to try and choke him out, perhaps.
Front headlock takedown, snaps him down to the ground. Takes the back, gets one hook in. Might not have the correct position. Jai's going to scramble out of this.
Akhmetov did predict he'd win by a rear naked choke. Can it come true here in the third and final round? Almost put him through the canvas.
Akhmetov loves this belly-to-back position. You can see him trying to hunt for those hooks. He's trying to take those legs and wrap them around Jai's legs. But good move by Eustaquio. But he gives up his neck in the process.
Single leg takedown, but now he's stuck in a choke attack.
A little bit of space there on the left side there. I don't think he has it in. It might be more of a neck crank at this point.
A good look at the submission attempt here from Kairat Akhmetov. Is Eustaquio in trouble? 1 minute 55 remaining, third and final round. Akhmetov not giving up on it. He's also going to be exerting tremendous energy.
But at this point in the round, he's only only got a minute 45 left. He doesn't have to worry about gassing out the arms because the contest is almost over.
Trying to push the hips up, trying to get some more leverage behind this submission attempt. And meanwhile, Eustaquio goes to the body with the right hand. Still Akhmetov trying to sub him out. Look at the pressure he's exerting here. And Eustaquio is free. Eustaquio escapes under 80 seconds remaining now.
Big escape there. Now we get to see what Akhmetov's like off his back. Jayhay's trying to create a little bit of space by framing off the hand there. Akhmetov's trying to hold the head so Jayhay's not able to posture up and drop any bombs on him. Good defense there by Akhmetov.
And now Akhmetov off his back. Not where a wrestler wants to be. Heel kick to the kidney area. Heel kick to the top of the backside. Inside the guard of Akhmetov. Eustaquio, 45 seconds remains. He tries to pass. He went high. He couldn't get there. More of those heel kicks from Akhmetov. Time is ticking down. The final stages of our main event. It has been an absolute rip snorter.
Again, Eustaquio has the possibility to pass the guard, but the guard of Akhmetov is so tight, he's not enabling Eustaquio to advance the position. It looks like the time might expire in this contest.
We may go down to the judges for the first time tonight. Cracking elbow there from Eustaquio. And again, he times it well. Ground and pound for the Filipino. Final 10 seconds. Eustaquio trying to put down some points. Akhmetov won't get off his back. Not now this fight. And Eustaquio, a final flurry from top position, ends a thrilling contest.
Interesting matchup between two of the top flyweights in the world. Look at that. A spinning knee kind of right there that connected on the side of Eustaquio's head. Back and forth, consistent action. Rich Franklin, in your eyes, who walks away and moves one step closer to another shot at the belt?
I'll tell you that last replay that we just saw with the left hand there is the telltale. You can look at my final scorecards. I have Akhmetov ahead, but the highest category that we have scored here is the damage inflicted. I did not score him for a near finish with the guillotine. It just wasn't close enough for me, but that left hand was a significant piece of that damage in the final round there. So I have him taking this one.
But does the up kick count as a near finish? It wobbled it, it dropped him.
Absolutely. It didn't drop him though. The contest was stopped by Yuji, so we'll never really know. But I did actually have that scored in the damage category for Jayhay.
Wherever you're watching in 128 countries around the world, what are your thoughts? How do you score it? Do you have it for Kairat Akhmetov? Do you have it for Jayhay Eustaquio of the Philippines? We're about to find out. Let's go to Dominic Lau.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we now turn to the judges' scorecards. Judge number 1 scores this bout in favor of the red corner. Judge number 2 scores this bout in favor of the blue corner. And judge number 3 scores this bout in favor of your winner by split decision from the red corner, Kairat Akhmetov.
How long before this one goes to the ground, and who will attempt to get it to ground first? You know, Imanari's only got one thing on his mind. He really is the epitome of a one-trick pony, the leg lock. But it's a bloody good trick to have, Mitch.
It is, but we've seen him in the past choose to spend a lot of time on his feet. He goes right in for it, tries that Imanari roll, but he does it off to the side. And Daewon Kim was easily able to slide off to the left there.
The Imanari roll that the Dragon talked about during Imanari's entrance. Side kick there from Imanari. What other options does Imanari have to take Daewon Kim down here?
He's pretty much doing that entire thing. You can see his stance and how he leans to the side like that. It's all to set up that dive that he has. He has other takedowns in his arsenal. He has catches. He's got double legs.
Oh, and he walks into a right hand! Smack bang! Smack bang!
He almost got starched right there by running into a right hand to Daewon
Kim. Day one Kim refusing to get sucked into the mind games of Imanari. And Imanari using the ring, dancing around, trying to psych out Day one Kim, trying to force an opening, maybe, for that patented Imanari roll.
Daewon Kim says he's going to win this match by TKO on the ground, and there he goes again. You can see how he sets that up. He throws the kick, leans to the side, falls over, trying to hope that the leg is right there.
It is one of the most unorthodox styles in the entire martial arts world, but it's thrilling, it's entertaining. You're on the edge of the seat every time you watch Masakazu Imanari. And I'll tell you what, this massive sellout crowd in Manila is on the edge of their seats right now. It's the largest martial arts organization in the world. Catches the leg.